You're listening to Quorum Radio.
And so then, of course, it brings up the whole topic of Marina.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lee comes back. He's pal. It's late. Just prior to that, she discovers a note. You know, that's not addressed to anybody, but, you know, I mean, sure, there weren't 30 or 40 people, rumors in the house that spoke Russian, and it was written in Russian.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but they poo-poo with that. Well, you know, come on. So, regarding the letter,
Actually,
what's that?
it was grammatically poor Russian. What they looked at it.
Misspellings.
Yeah.
And that's consistent with Lee Harvey Oswald's level of Russian. Or maybe he spoke it better than he wrote it. He misspelled in English. And that was not anything but his own native language, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's all kind of like, that's how Oswald was. He misspelled things. He had less than perfect grammar, right?
Yeah. I mean, you gotta hand it to him. You know, that's pretty difficult language to learn. You know, and I don't know if I could have done any better than Oswald. But
Oh, sure. Well, no, to his credit, you know,
Yeah.
he learned Russian. I think at some point he got to be fairly proficient in it after living there a few years. So,
yeah,
but you know, we look at Marina Oswald, and everybody, of course, Marina can't be believed. She says it's snowing. You got to look out the window. She said it's 6. She says it's 12 noon, and you just have to check your watch, right? What's your view on that? On Marina's veracity?
I think when she was cornered, she told the truth. You know, I mean, she didn't elaborate that much. You know, she only just spoke to what on occasion she would elaborate, you know, like, well, Lee told her, we're going to go to Cuba, we're going to hijack a plane, and you hold the gun or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. There's probably a lot more of those stories that she's never told, but I think she told Priscilla McMillan a lot more than the Warren Commission, but her story, I think certainly the Walker shooting is true. I really do. I mean, why would she make up that story anyway? I mean, that boggles my mind.
Why? Another question is, well, why on earth she didn't bring up the letter that she had kept in like a cookbook that Ruth Payne brought over to the Six Flags Inn where she was staying with her kids and I guess the Secret Service. So why on earth would she? I mean, she didn't want to bring it up, but then when it was brought up, then you had this letter written in Russian. How the heck did that get in her possession? Well, I mean, why would somebody plant that? There's no reason for that. And once it was there, then she had to explain it, and the explanation was consistent with an event that happened. And then of course you have the letter, the Communist Party USA, in which he mentions Walker. He's been following him. You know, he's on his. Walker was on Lee Harvey Oswald's radar screen.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's on the radar screen after he missed him too.
Well, yeah, sure, absolutely. You know, so I mean, the thing is that they say it just didn't happen, couldn't happen. I wanted to also ask you that particular escape route. You know, the railroad tracks. Was that where Lee Harvey Oswald supposedly, if he did shoot at Walker, where he supposedly wanted to hide the rifle, or just use that as an escape route, or what?
Oh yeah, the photos of the railroad track. Yeah, there's 2 or 3 of those, if I remember right. He kept those for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe he's gonna go back and do it again. I don't know, but he used that. It's theorized. Let me put it that way. I mean, it's speculation, I guess, but it's educated speculation. Why he would take a picture of the railroad tracks, and we talked last time. One of those pictures was a footpath leading away from that railroad track down down this railroad track set up kind of a hill, you know, and it led down to the street. And along that footpath, a 90-foot footpath, was a lot of brush piles. And that's what they theorized, that yes, he could have got in there, just stashed his rifle in that bunch of wood brush and everything like that, and come back later to pick it up undetected on a footpath, you know. So that's why they kind of thought he took that picture. And also from those NKT railroad tracks up there, he would just follow it and go all the way down to Blackburn Street and catch a bus home. So it's pretty ingenious. You think about it, you know. Do I know that actually happened? No, I don't. But it's a pretty good, educated guess, you know. I can't see him running around there with a rifle down the street, down Blackburn Street, Oak Lawn, or wherever, you know. That just doesn't make sense. But, you know, stashing it up there somewhere and then coming back later.
And then the final thing is, pardon me, the final thing is, and you sent me an illustration of his Marine Corps trench coat, which is pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, fairly dark and all. And
can I say something about that real quick?
Yeah, sure, please, absolutely.
That raincoat, that picture there, that came out of eBay years ago. And Robert Oswald sold that on eBay, and it belonged to Oswald. I wish I had the name tag pictures he had.
Wait, who sold it on eBay? Marina?
Robert Oswald, his brother. He sold that on eBay.
Wait, Walker sold it? Who?
No, Robert.
Robert Oswald. Oh, wow.
Lee's brother, Robert Oswald. He sold that raincoat. It's a Marine Corps issued that raincoat. And it had the name tags in there, Lee H. Oswald in there and everything, which I didn't take the picture of. I've been trying to find it. It's now long gone, because this is many years ago. But he sold that. And he had a COA on it and everything like that. And he sold that. But anyway, unless Oswald had another Marine issued raincoat, that could have been possibly the one that he used to hide the rifle in there. And you can see by that picture, it's a long trench coat looking thing, right?
Yeah. And you know something? How hard would it have been to slip a rifle in there, you know, maybe partially button it up or not at all because it was kind of warm that night, right? And, you know, kind of stick the muzzle up near the shoulder, not under the armpit necessarily. There's other ways you could have done it. And then be holding it, you know, put your hand in the pocket and be cupping the stock of the gun, the butt of the gun, right? So how hard is it necessarily to do that?
Oh, it's been very easy. I mean, yeah, easy. You know, he could have carried it around. Now he didn't carry it out on the 10th. I'm sure he tried. He went out a few days earlier, but it didn't look right to him. You know, so I'm sure he already had the rifle out there. So, but anyway, yeah, if you wore the trench coat, you could certainly hide it in there, or he can just bundle it up, put it on his lap, and hide it in that raincoat. And that's another reason I think he chose the carbine, short barrel, for concealability purposes, you know. Plus, it was cheap.
Sure, totally.
Cheap if you know, if he lost the rifle or he had to throw it away or whatever, you know, he wouldn't have a lot of money and all this. But you know, those things are kind of, you start kind of getting a little clearer picture when you start piecing these things together a little bit, you know, because he bought that rifle for kill Walker. The timing on it and everything. I mean, just, you know, the backyard pictures, he's dressed in all black, you know. What is he dressed in all black for, you know? You know, they didn't have ninjas back then, you know. So, you know, if you're doing a nighttime operation, maybe you want to dress in all black. And I have not found any of those clothes in his possession, the black clothes at all. I don't know where they're at. He could have changed clothes up there. I don't know. It's just speculation. But,
Interesting.
yeah, you start looking a little deeper here, and you're trying to piece all this together. You know, you kind of get a kind of a general sense of what he was up to. You know.
Well, sure. I mean, it's the thing about it is that's compelling is it makes sense. Occam's razor. You go with the explanation that makes sense. That's the most logical and the simplest. You know.
Yeah. And that's. I mean, the easiest thing is Oswald. I mean,
and yes, and not only that, but you look at his background. The gratuitous statements he made when he was a boy, when he was like maybe 15, he said something to the effect of, "Oh, Eisenhower, what do I think of him? Oh, I'd kill him."
Yeah, he made some strange comments, but I mean, but you're right. It's not as complicated as people try to make it out to be. Even with the Kennedy assassination. You got.
Yeah, right. As somebody who's a member on some of these sites says, how hard is it, folks? Yeah, that's the question. How hard is it to just accept that, Oswald could have done it. He was a Marine. He was trained to fire up to 500 yards away.
Mm-hmm.
The Kennedy assassination was way, way less than that, way less than 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The Walker shooting, which barely missed him, which wounded him with the fragments, that was close. He hated people who were strong conservatives like
Mm-hmm.
Walker, and also segregationists. Throw that into the mix, and and Marina took a picture of him. Hunter of fascists. Gee, that's weird. Why would you make that comment? And then Warrenschultz asked him, "Hey Lee, how come you missed?"
Yeah.
Yeah. It all paints a picture. It all fits together like little pieces of a puzzle, But there we go. So anyway, listen.
It does, but I was going to say, if you look at the alternative explanations going out there, in the conspiracy world, you got layers and layers. You got a Rube Goldberg.
Oh yeah, sure, exactly. How well does it work when the chips are down and it just kind of doesn't? It falls apart.
Yeah.
And so and then that little detail of turning away from the Walker assassination, looking or attempted shooting to JFK. I mean, gosh, curtain rods. Not only the curtain rods, but he has to go home a day early to get them, and then he has to wrap them up. I mean, gosh, I mean, if you were gonna.
Tape them all up and everything.
Oh my gosh! I mean, somebody might steal them. I mean, what would you do? What would you do if you wanted to surprise your girlfriend with some curtain rods? You'd gift wrap them, right?
That's right. Well, you got to conceal them. You got to keep them concealed all the time.
Oh, exactly. Keep them under wraps.
They only weigh like 2 pounds, but you got to conceal it and wrap them up.
Oh yeah. How could Lee? And then the whole thing, it's he comes early, and what do you got there, Lee? Curtain rods, and it doesn't make any sense. I mean, so this Steve Rowe, thanks so much for being on Quorum Radio. Hope we can have you on again. It's been great. Thanks a million.
Enjoyed it, Bill.